In ancient Egypt, power was not inherited quietly. It was tested, measured, and sometimes proven through fear. Amenhotep II did not simply become pharaoh. He announced himself to the world with strength, speed, and brutality, and made sure no one doubted who ruled Egypt. He was the son of Thutmose III, the greatest military conqueror Egypt ever produced. A king who built an empire stretching from Nubia to the Euphrates. And when you grow up in the shadow of a man like that, weakness is not an option. This is Vera's history, where we strip away myth and exaggeration to tell the true, verified stories of the ancient world. What you're about to hear is not legend. It's history, and Amenhotep II's story is as intense as any empire has ever produced. From a young age, Amenhotep II understood one thing clearly. Comparison was unavoidable. His father was a strategist, a commander, a living symbol of Egyptian dominance. Amenhotep did not try to imitate him. Instead, he chose a different path to authority, his own body. Egyptian inscriptions describe him as an extraordinary athlete. He trained relentlessly: archery, running, rowing, horsemanship. These were not hobbies. They were declarations. Amenhotep II wanted his people, and his enemies, to see a king who was physically unstoppable. Texts claim he could fire arrows through solid copper targets, that he could row faster than trained crews, that he outperformed soldiers half his age. Modern historians treat these claims cautiously, but the message behind them is undeniable. Amenhotep II wanted to be feared not just as a ruler, but as a man. When Thutmose III died around 1425 BCE, the empire he left behind was vast, but unstable. Vassal states in the Levant obeyed Egypt because they remembered defeat. A new king meant a new test. Amenhotep II ascended the throne young, and the world watched closely. Was he merely the son of greatness, or greatness itself? The answer came swiftly. Early in his reign, rebellion flared in Syria-Palestine. Cities that had submitted to his father tested the resolve of the son. Amenhotep II did not hesitate. He marched north with speed and aggression, determined to prove that Egypt's power had not softened. His campaigns were fast, calculated, and ruthless. Egyptian records describe captured enemy leaders paraded in chains. Some were executed publicly. Others were brought back to Egypt as living warnings. This was not random cruelty. It was psychological warfare. One moment, recorded in royal inscriptions, defines his reign with chilling clarity. After suppressing rebellion, Amenhotep II executed several enemy princes and displayed their bodies on the prow of his royal ship as he sailed south along the Nile. One corpse was later hung on the walls of Napata in Nubia, far from the battlefield, so that even distant territories would understand the cost of defiance. This was the emotional core of Amenhotep II's rule. Power to him was not subtle. It was visible, physical, absolute. Yet he was not reckless. Despite his brutality, Amenhotep II maintained the empire he inherited. He did not expand Egypt further than his father had, but he did something just as important. He held it together. Diplomatic marriages continued. Tribute flowed. Borders remained intact. His strength discouraged rebellion as effectively as armies ever could. Inside Egypt, Amenhotep II ruled as a traditional New Kingdom pharaoh. He supported temple institutions. He honored the gods. He presented himself as the ideal king, strong in body, firm in justice, chosen by tradition rather than divine spectacle. But unlike some rulers, he did not soften with age. Even later inscriptions emphasized dominance and intimidation. Fear was not a phase. It was policy. Historians debate how he should be remembered. Some see him as a stabilizer, an enforcer who preserved the empire at a critical moment. Others see a ruler driven by insecurity, constantly proving himself against the memory of his father. Perhaps both are true. Amenhotep II lived knowing he would always be compared to Thutmose III. And instead of escaping the shadow, he sharpened it, turning strength into spectacle, violence into deterrence, and fear into control. When his reign ended, Egypt remained a superpower. Its enemies were silent, its borders secure, its throne unchallenged. That is Amenhotep II's legacy, not the builder of the empire, but the man who dared the world to test it, and ensured no one did. If this video educated you, subscribe to Vera's History and hit the bell icon for more true, educational history videos.